Close your eyes and take a long, deep breath. Good. Imagine a magical island far, far away, with green hills as far as the eye can see. Tall grass rustling in the wind. And a pitter patter of raindrops. This land is full of magical people. Sound sensitive, tingle people. Hello, this is Emma, and this is ASMRtists of Great Britain, Volume 1.
Welcome to Meridians, Your Majesty. It's always a great thrill to see you and a pure delight to serve you.
It's on her neck as well.
Would you care for a cup of
ships that sailed from Atlantis
or something a little stronger?
It was 4 kings of the Western Islands were saved.
Well,
3 kingdoms now rule.
As well as that, I'm doing it.
2
what you like?
Sophia,
Make it a dog.
Absolutely.
one world there is one God.
Much better. You know, I reckon we're pretty lucky. When we pitched up in this spot, I was worried that it'd be too damp and that the wood wouldn't take to the fire. But it seems to be burning quite nicely for the moment. Probably got an hour or so before the flames die out, and then we'll go to bed. You know, I'm so excited for tomorrow. You know, I've got a feeling we're going to spot the Loch Ness Monster. Just imagine. It's nearly been 100 years since the first recorded sighting. 1933 it was. The 5th of May in Inverness. And then the hunt for Nessie really began. So yeah, let's try and get a cheeky shot of old Nessie. Just imagine, whether you believe it or not, I find it a lot of fun to think about. So we've got probably about a 2.5 hour journey tomorrow. Yeah, that's about right. 2 hours if we're lucky, but you know, as soon as you pass over the Cairngorms, the roads get a little bit treacherous. Past Ben Nevis. You know, Ben Nevis is the tallest mountain in Britain. I camped there a couple of years ago. But on this camping trip, I thought we'll just head straight up to Inverness. Yeah. So from here, Killiecrankie, that is about 95 miles. So I think we've already seen quite a lot. And then we'll head up past Inverness the next day, up to the top of Scotland. Yeah, I'm really excited for the next few days. And let's just hope the weather stays as good as this. So, had you ever been to Killiecrankie before coming here yesterday morning? I've been here quite a few times. That's why I really wanted to take you here. I came here for the first time when I was a little girl, and it was Easter, and we were rolling our eggs down the braes of Killiecrankie. Did you spot the Soldier's Leap? Remember the big crossing, or the 2 rocks that I showed you? Well, I didn't tell you why it's called the Soldier's Leap. So here's a little history lesson for you. Okay? So, when King William took over from King James, a lot of the Scottish Highlanders, or the Jacobites as they were called, supported King James. So this man called Dundee, funny because that's where I'm from, Dundee. This man called Dundee led the Jacobites, and in Killiecrankie they fought the government army. Now it was one of the awful battles that happened, and the Jacobites were known to be ruthless, barbaric, and a little bit crazy. And there was one soldier, one government soldier. His name was Donald McBean. And he was fleeing from the Jacobites. And he reached the riverbank in Killiecrankie. And there was nowhere to go. All he could do was jump across this river, or stay and definitely meet his death. Now the distance between the 2 riverbanks was 18 foot, and allegedly Donald jumped 18 foot and lost a shoe in the process and landed on the other side, fleeing the Jacobites. So successfully. Now, there were a couple of eyewitness accounts of this leap, but it broke all sorts of records. So, some people are skeptical, but it is amazing what the human body can do out of fear. But yes, so that's why it's called the soldier's leap. The government soldier that leaped across the river away from the Jacobites. Have you got any more marshmallows left? You're kidding. We ate them all last night. Remind me tomorrow to pick up some more. We're going to need to wrap up warm. It's a clear night. The moon shining, but the lack of clouds means that the heat from the day has escaped and it's a bit nippy. So we'll need to wrap up in our tents. That tent has served me well, you know. It served me during my Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award. When I went to Jura for my Gold Award exploration. They have some really nice whiskey over there. And the tent's seen me through many festivals. I love festival season in Britain. Though it's a shame that Scotland doesn't really have many anymore, since Tea in the Park was cancelled. It's funny. Without that festival, Tea in the Park, my life right now would be completely different. But that story is for another time. It's a long story. Right now it's time to rest, relax our minds, and hopefully we'll drift off into a lovely sleep tonight in the woods, amongst the trees. How about I tell you a little poem, a Scottish poem. Now, Robert Burns, is considered the national poet of Scotland, but this poem wasn't written by him, I'm about to tell you. I actually don't know who the author is, or the poet even. It's just one of those ones that they made you learn in primary school. You've hurt your finger. Pear wee man. Your pinky. Dearie me. No, just you had it that way. Till I get my specs and see. My, so it is. And there's the skelf. No, dinna greet nae mair. See, there's my needle. Gotten it out. I'm sure that wasnae sair. And noo to mak it hail the morn, put on a wee bit saw, and tie a bonny hanky round it. Noo there, na run awa. Your fingers sair enough, you rogue, you're only letting on. Weel, then, see no. There you are, round up the same as John. If you understood at least half of that, I'd be impressed. To be honest, that's not that difficult to understand. Some poems, Scottish poetry, is even harder to get your head around. I reckon you probably could class Killiecrankie is still the east of Scotland. I like the west of Scotland. Got some beautiful places over there. You know, Oban, some lovely islands such as Skye, Mull. And Oban's a beautiful place. And then of course you've got Glasgow. But it always rains over there. But that's why it's so beautiful. There's so much rain and everything is green and purple. Yeah, it's such a beautiful part of the country. But over here on the east side, it doesn't rain quite as much. Well, it still rains a lot. You're looking a wee bit cold. You're right there. Come here, let me wrap you up a bit. What you like? Okay. Stay wrapped up. How often hunting the highest hilltop, I scan the ocean, I sail to sea. Wilt come tonight, love, wilt come tomorrow. Whatever come, love to comfort thee. Feravata nahoruele, Feravata nahoruele, Feravata nahoruele. Oh, fare thee well, love, where'er thou be.
Hello there. Well, that's something which I haven't seen before. Entering my barber shop, you sit on the chair and you fall asleep straight away. Are you awake? Okay. Forgive me, I don't wish to disturb you, but you are here to get your hair cut, and I'm here to do that for you. And it would be exceptionally polite of you if you were able just to make it to the chair first before you began to fall asleep. Okay. Well, because you've just annoyed me a little bit, I'm afraid that your haircut is going to be just a little bit quicker this time. Is that okay? Brilliant. But I'll be able to perform the same sort of perfection which I'm always able to perform with haircuts here in my barber shop. Okay. So what are we going to be working with today? Please tell me and I'll pop the gown on you. Okay. Of course that's something I could do. Of course. Yes. Just a little bit around. Okay, take the weight out of your head, okay? Oh, sorry, were you still talking? I just stopped listening. Right, so, yes, allow me to use my intuitive sense to style your hair today. I think that's probably what would be best for you. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you to keep nice and still for me. I'm going to pop this gown around your neck, just get you to lift up ever so slightly then I could pop this around you like so and get you all prepared for your haircut. Okay, so pop that around here. I don't really wish to come into close contact with you if I can help it. So it's nice and secure there. Do this so if there's any bits of hair that fall down on you, it doesn't ruin your clothes, but seeing as you have not dressed for the occasion whatsoever, I don't think there would be any clothes to ruin. But that, of course, is my opinion. Yours might vary. Okay, so I'm going to take the weight out of your haircut there, give you a fresh new look, right? Now, you fell asleep as soon as you went into the chair. But if you fall asleep during the process, that's fine. That's better for me because I'm able to work and do my thing around your hair. And you can relax, enjoy whatever you like. I mean, I would prefer it more if you did that because then I wouldn't have to talk to you. Okay, so it's selecting my scissors now, which would be most appropriate for your hair. So your hair has got a medium texture there. Okay, I think that we won't need to take the weight out too much, but certainly we can make it a lot nicer for you now. I mean, if that's how you present yourself like that, then of course anything that I do will certainly be a lot better than what is on your head already. Okay, so a bit around there, smarten all this up and hopefully improve this here. Okay, so I'd just like you to keep as still as you can for me. Be doing a little bit of spray just to dampen your hair, and then I could perform the haircut itself, right? Okay. Just check that it's working. Great. A little bit. I think that should be enough first. Okay. So up to the fun bit. So I'm going to be just working through the, I wouldn't say problem areas, just the bits that I think will really help you look a lot better than you already do right now. So I've been a barber for I don't know how long now, and all my high class customers, I mean, someone like you probably wouldn't understand what that is, being such a different class of these people. My normal customers come in and we have Lord Farquhar and all sorts of people in here, but you are certainly the sort of class that we call riffraff, you know, the sort you wouldn't want to be introduced to or bump into in the town. No. So it is, of course, my good grace that I'm able to cut your hair. I consider this more sort of charity work for our local area here in England, and we like to do charitable things, usually for people who are not as fortunate as us, but I mean, people would probably frown upon the likes of you because just the way you are, and some people like that, and you're one of those people. Other people would be a little bit more charitable, and they would see a lost cause and want to do something about it to help. So consider that. I consider myself as perhaps one of those people who think that you could benefit from someone like me helping someone like you and keep you presentable and out of trouble and causing nuisances in this local area where we have the best shops, barbers of course, we have the best library, we have a gaming store for upper class gamers, as well as keep it still there for me, that's great. Okay, keep it still. As well as tailors, so if you wish to become a lady or gentleman, you get a nice suit or dress tailor-made for you, bespoke, and make you look presentable and nice. Something I'm sure you're not too familiar with. Okay. Okay. I must say that you are actually doing a very good job of keeping still for me. Well, I just thought you'd be one of those hooligan type people who just, don't understand the etiquette of the charm of getting your hair cut. And it's not just about a haircut, it's a relaxing experience for a gentleman or a lady. They come in for a wet towel shave, they get all the personal attention, all their needs taken care of. And of course, a really friendly barber who's able to comfort them, keep them feeling as if they're at ease with everything, and take their mind off everything which could be on their mind. It's more of a spa type thing, of relaxation. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just get my other scissors here, and this is just to help lighten the load, as it were, because it's quite thick right around this area. So we just take that thickness out, and then I can deal with all this bit down here by your shoulders. How does that sound? There's me treating you like a lord and normal customer. I mean, look how charitable I am. Okay. This bit around here, just lighten the load ever so slightly, and a little bit around here as well. We take the load off a little bit. metaphorically speaking as well. So you sit there and you're able to relax. If you just keep perfectly still for me, which you are doing right now. We take pride of ourselves here as being one of the most relaxing barbershops for our customers, and we really like our customers to feel as relaxed as possible, because that helps with the process, their well-being, and it's those little extras which they remember, feel this sort of warm sensation as they get their hair cut. There's a lot of trust in that barber. We create connections, we could talk business or things of that nature, leisure, you know, all the sorts of things that we like to do here in this area, you know, have balls, fancy meals, banquets, those sorts of things, you know, with all these lords and ladies around you, never short of a nice evening out somewhere, a lovely dinner or something along those lines. One of the perks of being in this area, is it not? I mean, of course, someone like you might not have been invited to them, but I assure you that they are exceptionally good fun to be at. Okay, so I think we're nearing the end here, and it looks like you're nodding off again. Well, I say nearing the end. This is at work anyway. But I think if you just fall asleep then, just relaxing, I'll probably just continue talking to myself, just so I don't have to keep thinking that I'm actually cutting your hair when I could be cutting Lord Farquaad's hair or something like that. Okay, and by the time that you wake up, you'll probably have just sexually perfect haircut, like all the lords and ladies around here. And perhaps you might fancy heading over to a tailor or something, just to smarten that abysmal attire that you're wearing. Okay. You're able to relax the fireplace.
Hello everyone, this is WhisperingLife. I hope you're all well. So I thought that I would read some facts about my town that I live in. The town I live in is called Nottingham, which is in the Midlands, or East Midlands to be more specific. Okay. Nottingham was once known as Snottingham. Around 600 AD, the town was under control of an Anglo-Saxon tribe called the Snottingers, where the chief was called Snot, meaning caves. They called the town Snottingham, which meant the homestead of Snot's people. Over the years, the name was gradually modified until it became known as Nottingham in the 12th 12th century. John Peake invented traffic lights back in 1866. He was a British railway manager who specialised in designing signalling systems for the railway network. After continually reading about road accidents, Peake decided to apply his knowledge and created a basic system to control traffic. The first traffic light was installed at Bridge Street in Westminster, London. Nottingham's Goose Fair actually started out as a livestock trading event in 1284. Today it is most famous for its rides and attractions. It is Europe's largest travelling fair and attracts almost 500,000 visitors each year. I don't generally go to Goose Fair, but I have been when I was a child. Nottingham was the first place in England to record an earthquake back in year 1180. The sundial in Portland Square, Sutton in Ashfield, is the largest in Europe. Nottingham was the first city to install Braille signs in its shopping centres. The myth that lemmings throw themselves off cliffs is thought to have originated from Arthur Me, who was a former editor of the Nottingham Post. He included the incorrect information in an edition of his children's encyclopedia, published from 1908 to 1964. Radcliffe Road in West Bridgford, Nottingham, was the first road in the world to be laid with tarmac. After County Surveyor Edgar Hooley obtained a British patent in 1902. Nottingham has the biggest market square in England. It measures 5.5 acres. When it's sunny, you definitely need sunglasses when you're walking across Nottingham Square, as it's just so bright. I think they should have used slightly darker stone. It's quite striking, really. And Nottingham Square has lots of events, at Christmas time and summer. They have a man-made beach in the summer, which is really fun to go to for the kids. And in the winter they Orwell's James Bond novel, Thunderball. It is described as an extraordinary trademark of a doll's house. The Hollywood hit film The Dark Knight Rises features Woollerton Hall as Wayne Manor. Woollerton Hall is an Elizabethan country house of the 1580s. Standing on a small but prominent hill, the house is now Nottingham Natural History Museum with Nottingham Industrial Museum in the outbuildings. I actually visit Woollerton Hall quite a lot as it's just so beautiful, and you don't have to go into the house, you can just go around the gardens and the fields. There's lots of deer there, and it's quite interesting to see when they are in rutting season, but you have to stay quite far away obviously, but they just roam around free. And they've got a beautiful pond down at the bottom which is filled with ducks, and it's lovely to take the children there to feed the ducks. It's a lovely place to go in the summer, and sometimes they do outdoor cinemas there, which I've never been to, but I do plan on taking the children there one day. But yeah, Woollerton Hall is a definite must-see if you're coming to Nottingham. Within the dome of Nottingham Council House is placed a 10.5-ton bell designed by world-famous bell designers John Taylor and Co. of Loughborough in 1927. The bell is named Little John. It is the 5th largest bell in the UK, and it sounds every 15 minutes. The E-flat tone has the deepest tone in the country, which can be heard up to 7 miles away. And it is very loud, I can vouch for that. Thank you so much for listening. I've had fun doing these facts, as I've actually learned a few of them just now, so it's always fun to learn about the city that you live in. I hope you all have a relaxing good night. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Chloe, and today I will be preparing you a very British afternoon tea while talking about a few things that Britain is famous for or associated with. The afternoon tea today is vegan friendly, so everyone can enjoy it. We have smashed avocado sandwiches with lemon juice, red onion and black pepper, and hummus, red pepper and black pepper as well. For a sweeter treat, I'm going to be preparing a fruit salad. Just kept it simple. And we have strawberries and red grapes, blueberries and blackberries as well. I also have mango and kiwi that we will be adding to, so it should be really nice and colourful. And of course, we have tea. I have these raspberry and strawberry fruity teas. That I will start to brew now, and by the time we are done preparing the fruit salad, it should be ready. I've already pre-sliced the mango into a hedgehog. So that's done. Just take a few bits of that. And I will also sort the kiwi out as well. So, a few things that Britain or the British are famous for. Of course, number one is drinking tea. We never need an excuse to put the kettle on, ever. Any occasion will call for it, whether it's a celebration or something difficult has happened. Whether an old friend has stopped by or a stranger. It's then time to put the kettle on. And make a brew. On the subject of tea, there is another thing that we are quite famous for, and that is dipping biscuits into tea. Now, there is a fine art to this, I'll tell you. And there are a few firm favourite biscuits to dunk. A few other top contenders being digestive biscuits, and hobnobs, as they hold their structure really well. Which is important in a dunking biscuit, because you don't want it to fall apart at the first instance, or you will end up with a soggy biscuit in the bottom of your tea. But the hobnobs and digestives seem to last a good few dips. There is much research into the matter, with websites dedicated to how many dunks the type of biscuit can take, and for how long as well. So, very scientific and important research. Another thing that we Brits are famous for is how much we say sorry, even when it's not our fault. But really, I think that most of the time when we say sorry, we actually mean to say, "Excuse me." For example, if somebody bumps into you, or if you bang into a chair or a table, we say sorry. At least I do. And it's just one of those things that we do, apologising a lot. We just can't help ourselves. We love to talk about the weather. We do. And how unpredictable it is. It can go from one extreme to the other very quickly, in that one day it is really sunny and warm, and the next it's cold and damp and raining. We also love to complain about the weather, especially when we have a few weeks or a few days of the same weather in a row. It's very strange for us, and often we can't take it. So, if it's been really snowy for a week, or really sunny, then we'll be complaining about it. I think it's quite funny. On the subject of weather, we also are really good at wearing summer clothes during the winter. As soon as the sun comes out, you will find someone, at least one person, in their shorts and t-shirt, as we really have to make the most out of the sun while it's here, as it's very, very rare that we get any. Okay, I think we're done. Got really sticky fingers now. So put those to one side. I think they look really pretty. So colourful. So now our tea should be brewed. Would you like a cup? Of course you do. Such a pretty colour. So now, we can enjoy our afternoon tea.
Welcome to Meridians, Your Majesty. It's always a great thrill to see you and a pure delight to serve you. How are you?
Very well.
Good, good.
And you?
Very well, thank you. Would you care for a cup of tea, a slice of lemon, or something a little stronger?
Gin, Dubonnet.
I thought you might say that, ma'am. Yes.
Really?
Well, we've been serving your family here at Meridians for years, haven't we? So we know what you like.
Make it a double.
Absolutely. Yes, I believe these antique goblets were a gift from your great-great-grandmother, actually. So we always save them for you, of course. There we go.
Go.
Please enjoy.
Would you join me?
No. It's very kind of you, ma'am, but I'll stick to water, seeing as I'm working in a professional capacity today, but to your very good health.
Bottoms up.
Indeed. So, I believe you're off to deliver a speech this afternoon, is that right? Okay. So it'll be fairly formal today. Yes, of course. And you requested the Tingle Tiara, so yes, it's come back from a few little minor repairs and scratches, a bit of wear and tear, so that's all been done up nicely for you, and I will be adorning you with that very soon, and taking you through a few bits and bobs, some clothing that we have that I've suggested for you, and you can let me know if you like it or not. And your press secretary said that you'd quite like to have a little refresh of makeup before you go on to your engagement. Yes, well, looking at you, you look absolutely stunning, Your Majesty, quite flawless. So I'll just give you a little bit of powder. And I know you like a little of the rouge on the cheeks, don't you? So do you mind if I remove your headscarf, Your Majesty? Very good. There we are. Perfect. Yes, it is. Very fine, isn't it? I remember when we sold this to you, made of the most exquisite fabrics, and I think it always looks so charming on you. I've seen some photos of you in the press wearing this when you're out in your equestrian pursuits. Yes, of course, Balmoral and Sandringham. Yes, it always looks so nice on you. Yes, we have lots more fine silks to show you as well. Perhaps when you come for your next casual sitting, we can go through them. Yes. I'm so glad you liked it, Your Majesty. And would you like me to remove the royal hairnet as well? Very well. There we are. Yes, no, it's very well coiffed, so we'll just give you just a little zhuzh, just a little bit of attention, and you'll be looking fine. Yes. You want me to start with the makeup? Okay. Just in case it spoils any of the new clothes we'll be putting on you. Of course. Just the very lightest of dustings will be quite sufficient. Okay. There we are, just over the apples of your cheeks, Your Majesty. You really do have the most stunning complexion, I have to say. Yes, you've always been complimented on that, haven't you, Your Majesty? And just over the brow there. That's right. Yes, just over here. And along here. And then just the slightest dusting just here on the nose. And the chin is good. That's it, just around there, all around the sides. And then we'll just take off the shine and give you that nice finish. There we are. Okay, very well. Good. And as I said, just a light dusting of rouge. Just, I know you like it quite high on the cheeks there, don't you, Your Majesty? Okay, so I'll just pop just that little pop of colour. It's going to elevate your look and bring out your complexion against that shock of white hair, which is so elegant and refined. Okay, very good. Yes. Pink. Yes, it does. It does make the boys wink now. Here we go, just a little. Barely there, look, I think, today, ma'am. And as you know, I'm extremely hygienic, so the hands, of course, are perfectly clean to touch the royal lips. Just and then rub them together. Yes, that will do, Your Majesty. Very good. Yes, that's right. And if you just lean forward just a little, please, ma'am. Right, I'll just give your hair just a little bit of a zhuzh there. It's got lots of lacquer in it, so it's going to be quite stable, I'm sure, but it just could do with that little bit of attention. There we are. Most handsome, most exquisite. Yes. There we go. Okay, so your wardrobe, Your Majesty. Let me show you the swatches of fabric I've got for your cape and see which one you prefer, okay? Yeah. Okay, so you have a choice here of various bejewelled fabrics to go with your tingle tiara today to create the right look. We have very royal purple here. This was my first choice. Obviously the colour of regality and royalty and luxury, so that always looks so nice, especially against your hair. So that's the purple. We also have a much more subdued champagne pink, just with that slight blush to it. which I think would also flatter your skin and obviously catches so much of the light. And as you'll see, your tingle tiara is purple and silver, so either of them would go very well with it. Or if you want the wild card, then we have a very daring red here, very, very rich and extremely sovereign, the finest rubies. The purple, yes, I thought you might go for that one, and I think that's the best choice. I think it'll very much go with everything and pull the outfit together. Okay, so if I just come behind you for a moment. Okay, so the crowning glory, the tingle tiara, is coming up. And it's a very special piece. Only worn for, as you know, Your Majesty, for the very, very special occasions. And here it is for your inspection. There we are, isn't it a thing of beauty? Yes. Most luxurious diamonds and amethysts set on this spun gold, which just sparkles and scintillates with its brilliant radiance. Yes, of course. Well, that's what I've heard. Apparently it gives the most chilling tingles to the brain and the scalp and down the back, and makes you go goose pimply all over. So, it sounds like it'll be enjoyable for you to wear as well, Your Majesty. Are you happy for me to put it on the royal head? It's my great honour, ma'am, of course, to do so, and I hope your speech today goes very well to the ASMR community.
As your sovereign, I hope you will join me in reflection as we look back on so many happy years and fond memories of tingly moments shared together in the spirit of community and convivial atmosphere. One knows so many of you derive a great benefit from the tireless work of ASMRtists far and wide, not only from these shores of Great Britain, but across the globe. My corgis and I often marvel at the bonhomie and symbiotic relationship of care and encouragement displayed by both artist and audience. I wish you all a peaceful experience and a crown of your own that is always full of tingles.
I'm going to share with you some lovely Great British themed items, which I hope that you are going to enjoy seeing and also enjoy the sounds of. I hope you like my bow tie. I thought it was very fitting for the theme. So I have this Union Jack bunting, which you can see behind me, and it's very pretty with the red, white and blue theme. So I thought it would be nice to make some crinkles with that too. I was born in Staffordshire, which is in central England. I still live in the county. they've never moved away. And things that Staffordshire is well known for is pottery and oat cakes. Oat cakes are generally eaten with cheese inside, melted cheese, or various other fillings for breakfast or any time of day. But you can often find them in supermarkets everywhere. Staffordshire oat cakes. But I don't have any of those. I do have other items which are on the Great British theme, and I found this. It's a little school set with Union Jack items. There's a pencil case and a roller, pencil sharpener. I think there's an eraser and a pencil. So I thought I would open this and show you what's inside. So I'm going to carefully snip, snip, snip this open. It's very thick plastic. Try not to damage anything inside. There we go. So let's take out pencil case. Has a little zip. With the lovely Union Jack design on it. On this side, got the little Union Jack eraser, which isn't going to make too much of a sound. Then we have the sharpener. You see that? I think that's really cute. Again with the Union Jack design. And there's a pencil. Hopefully I can get this out. It seems quite stuck inside. I'll just cut the packaging again and you can listen to me snip the packaging. Okay. pencil. With the Union Jack design too. And let's have a look at this lovely Union Jack ruler. See there. I really like this. So let's just sharpen the pencil so we could use it. I always like the sound of pencil sharpeners when I was at school. I remember the pencil sharpener on the teacher's desk with the handle. It's not quite sharp enough yet, but we'll start putting things into this pencil case. So let's pop the pencil sharpener in. And the little eraser. And the ruler. And gently zip it up. I also was looking for something else on the red, white and blue theme, and I found these, and they are red, white and blue sprinkles for a cake. And I thought they were pretty and make a nice sound. I hope you've enjoyed my little selection of Great British themed items and the sounds that they make. really like this. I wonder how many stares I'd get if I walked down the street wearing this. Maybe I should try it. Take care, everyone.
Alright. This is what all the fuss is about then, eh? Right mess, this one. Yeah, well. Lovely night for it at least, eh? What have we got so far, Doyle? Good man, good man. Been here since 2 a.m. Right, stay. Who found it? You've got a statement? Yeah, I have to check, don't I? Know what you lot are like. Out on the boozer, aren't you? Yeah. Not much time for that these days, Doyle. Not much time for that at all. Any idea yet? No. Alright, well. Let's try and keep this one quiet for now. Wouldn't want to cause a panic now, would we? Suppose I'll better have a proper look at what we got then, eh? Yeah. Well, it's like I say, Doyle. If a job's worth doing, you better do it yourself. I know what they're like as well. Yeah, come and bag a few bits and bobs. Send some of the mess back to the lab and jobs are good, innit? Takes a bit more than that these days, Noel. A bit more than that indeed. Well, that's alright. So what you got me? Here we go. Here we bloody go. Sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, very good, sir. No, I'm on the scene now, sir. Well, it's certainly not good, sir. No, nothing yet. Press? No, none of them sniffing around here just yet. Alright, understood, sir. Yeah, well, wouldn't worry too much about them anyway. Nobody puts too much stock in what that rag prints these days. Very good, sir. Yeah, well, you know me. Married to the job. Alright, sir. Yeah. Very good, sir. Yeah. Alright, well, wants us to wrap this one up expediently. Apparently there's some rumours going around of don't say it, Doyle. Do not say it, Doyle. As soon as that phrase starts getting thrown around,
do without that sort of noise. Alright, well. Do me a favour, would you? Yeah. It's gonna be a long night. Yeah. Couple of quid. Yeah, take that. Run down to the offie and grab me a few smokes, will you? Yeah, well, she's got me on these bloody mints, hasn't she? Yeah, well. Stressful work, this. You know how it is. Gotta keep myself sane, haven't I? Go on, clear off. Let's have a proper look at what exactly we're dealing with. Unfortunate one you are, eh? It's a shame, really. It's getting a bit too regular, is this business? Unusual, that. These are dark times. I don't know what you did, but somebody wasn't very happy with you, were they? Bloody cheap crap. Where'd I leave that thing on? There we go. God. I'll tell you what. I suppose that'll do it. What about all the rest then, Don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry. I'm gonna find out exactly what happened here. And who did it. Yeah. Can't have none of this happening around here. It's not right, is it? Come on, Doyle. I think we can rule out an accident, can we? Going to be difficult. The fourth one this month. Right. Let's have a look. let's find out if we've got any prints left on you. Nasty business. Won't worry too much, me old chump. Sure, wherever you've ended up, it's a better place than this. Especially these days, what with all what's going on and that. Peculiar names. Let's take a look. On Earth. I've seen nothing like that before. Nothing like that at all. I'm not gonna enjoy this at all, am I? Oh, God. What in God's name? Very interesting, that is. Peculiar. Freedom. What does it mean? Certainly can't be good news, can it? Somebody is trying to send us a message. He's going to use that bloody phrase. Calling card like that. It's looking more and more likely. You're not going to be the last, are you? Just my luck, is it? Just my luck. Right, well, I suppose I'll better let the boss know, hadn't I? Good night, you. I will find out who's done it. You can be sure of that.
Hello, boys and girls, and everybody else, including you, buddy. My name is Scottish Murmurs ASMR, and today we have a little helper with us that wants to say hello, don't you? You say hello to everybody. This is Hugo, and he is my wolf. me today. So, as you can tell by the accent, I am, or even the name, I am Scottish, and I live in Scotland. And this little fella sometimes comes and does the ASMR with me, don't you? You're so used to it now. But people in Scotland would say that my accent is more of a soft Scottish accent because you can basically understand what I'm saying. And this little guy, you just pretend, he pretends that he doesn't know what I'm saying. That's right, isn't it? Yes. So, we thought we would tell you some things about Scotland to help you sleep, and also because I know that when there's a doggy in the room, because I do the same thing, I just focus on the doggy, don't I? What it is that he's after are these biscuits. I apologise if you don't like eating sounds because he's going to crunch them. So, we live near Glasgow, and Glaswegians typically have a very different accent to what I've got. The Glaswegian accent is a lot stronger, so you'll hear a lot of slang like, "That's pure dead brilliant, innit? Are you pure dead brilliant? Aye. You are, aren't you?" And Glaswegians are known to be very, very friendly. So you can come to Glasgow and you could ask somebody what their question if you're stuck, and they'll be more than happy to help. And there's a lot of shopping to be done in Glasgow. Me and this doggy often go into the city centre, don't we? Yes. So we often go into the city centre, and Hugo gets a lot of attention because he's a very big dog. Aren't you? Good boy. So Glasgow's very good for shopping. It's very good for eating out, enjoying restaurants, that sort of thing. Nightlife is really good. It's got a really great gay community as well. There's a lot of gay nightclubs. So if that's something that you enjoy, Glasgow is the place for you. Now we've got Edinburgh, which we would consider a little bit more posh, don't we? Oh, like his head's down because he's like, what? What do we say about Edinburgh? There's a little secret rivalry between, it's not really secret, between Glasgow and Edinburgh. Good boy. And they're a bit more posh with their Midlothian accent. They talk a little bit slower as well. But you've got the castle and the history of Edinburgh. So you can visit the castle. There's lots of cobbled streets. There's the botanic gardens for you to visit. There's a lot of kilt shops, a lot of like Scottish tartan shops. Good job, buddy. You can do things like you can go down into the Edinburgh Dungeons, which is Mary Queen's Close. Well, the dungeons as well as Mary Queen's Close. If you like ghosts and that sort of thing, Mary Queen's Close was when there was a plague, and it was close with a lot of people that lived down there, and they sealed it off to try and stop the spread of the plague, and a lot of people died. So people believe it's very haunted, and a lot of visitors go down and see it. You can also go and see Greyfriar Bobby, which is the little doggy that went every day to go and see his owner at the graveyard. And in the same cemetery there's also other reports of ghosts and ghouls and that sort of thing. So Edinburgh's got a lot of history to it, and a lot of things for you to do. You can then stay on the East Coast and go up to St Andrews. So we have the university there, and that's where Prince William and Kate Middleton went to. So St Andrews is, I would say, is quite famous for that. They both went there to university, but it's a lovely seaside town. And again, there's a lot of historical sites in St Andrews and that you can go and visit. But we always used to joke about St Andrews with university students that they would say the poshest university students went to St Andrews, which they do, by the way, they do. And you can go further up coast to Aberdeen, the Abertonians. Aberdeen is actually really nice. It's like this grey, I don't know what you call it, it's not sandstone, but it's another type of stone. Like brickwork, and everything's grey and looks really clean. And it's, again, on the coast, and it's a really nice city to visit. And you can also go to the Highlands and the Islands, which a lot of Scottish tourists to Scotland go, and they can get a ferry out to the likes of Skye or Islay maybe, and to visit the beaches, which are so beautiful. They're white beaches with clear blue water, which you can't quite believe in Scotland. But the only thing we don't have is the weather for you to enjoy the beaches. But you may be lucky and get a nice sunny day. Maybe. Yes. If you come further down Scotland, you've got the likes of Loch Lomond. And Loch Lomond is massive. There's lots of different hills, big massive loch, and you can stay at lodges there, you can stay at hotels, and you can do a lot of hill walking as well. So you can head up Ben Lomond to you can head up Ben Lomond and get your walking boots on. You can go canoeing on the lake, which is massive, and there's lots of different islands on the lake, so you can go kayaking or canoeing and explore all these different islands that people aren't on. They're just like little islands with lots of plants and trees. I tried it once, so I managed to get in, and then the second time I thought it'd be a really good idea to try and see if we could get Hugo into the rowing boat. But what did you do, buddy? You just kept jumping out, didn't you? You kept jumping out. So we couldn't go very far because we didn't want to go too deep because we weren't sure how good your swimming was, were we? He just wouldn't stay in, and you would hold him as well, and he kept jumping out. Kept jumping out. Yeah. And then you could put the southern Scotland, so you've got the borders. Again, even like Dumfries and Galloway, there's like a lot of caravan sites, a lot of hills, a lot of hill walking to be done. We definitely have the countryside in Scotland if you really like the outdoors and nature, don't we? Yes. Outdoors and nature. Who's a good boy? Are you a good boy? Yes. So, Hugo is an Alaskan Malamute, if you were wondering. And he is 2 years old. He is. He's very strong-minded. He's a pack dog, so he really needs structure in his life. So he has his pack. I had to work very hard when he was a puppy to make sure that I was above him in the pack. But he is very obedient, and he goes out to doggy daycare every day, well, every weekday, to make sure that he gets lots of interaction with other dogs. So he's got his pack now for that. He just can't be let off the lead because he has got very strong prey drive. So I he's also raw fed, which I struggle with at first because I don't eat meat. But we originally had Hugo on a like a dry food and canned food diet, didn't we? But it just didn't work for him. It was really upsetting his stomach. His coat wasn't that nice. It wasn't as shiny as it is now. So we made this decision to change him to raw fed, and it was right for you, wasn't it? So got to do what's best for the doggy. Cutie. So he's my companion, and he often lies in my studio while I'm filming, so you can sometimes hear him. And he's been in quite a few of my videos because he's a little star. But anyway, I hope seeing his little face has put a smile on your face, because I know it always puts a smile on mine. I'll get him to high five. High five. Yay!
Hello there everybody, I'm MissChloeASMR123, tingles, 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 shoop, shoop, shoop. And I'm here to make you all nice and relaxed. Relax, 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 relax. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my United Kingdom flag behind me, and also I've painted my nails red, white and blue, especially for this video. And yeah, next to me I have a box, and that box is filled with UK related items. And what I'm going to do is go through the box and make some nice, relaxing, tingly sounds with everything in there. Okay, so yeah, let's do this. Right, so first of all, I have these, and these are super cute. So you've got a little London bus here, and you also got a little London taxi. So I'm gonna tap, 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 tap on the boxes. Okay, so next up I've got this super lovely cute teddy bear, and this is a very special teddy bear because it's from London. So I got this teddy bear recently when I went to London for the day, and he looks very smart in his soldier outfit. Very smart bear, and he's so soft, like super soft. Looks very smart. Okay, so next up I have some postcards. Let's do some tapping on the postcards. So I've got 3 postcards here. I've got this one. These are scenes of London. I've also got this postcard here. This is the River Thames at night. So you can see it's all really beautifully lit up. So that's that one, and the last one is this one here. So you've got the Tower Bridge here, and this is the HMS Belfast, which I actually went on both the other day when I was in London. Went on the big boat, and also walked across Tower Bridge. So yeah, they are my postcards. Alright, next up I'm going to be showing you these and tapping on the box. We British people love our tea. There's nothing better than a nice cup of tea. This is a box of tea bags. Okay, right, next up I have got this really cool mug, and it's in the shape of a post box, an English post box. So when you go and post your letters, you go to the post box. This is probably one of my favourite mugs ever. I love this mug so much. Apparently it says the last collection time is Monday to Friday 6:30 p.m. and on a Saturday it's 12 noon. Okay, so next up I've got this purse. It's a little souvenir coin purse. Haven't used this yet, it's brand new. There we go. And I picked up this the other day. This is a book about the kings and queens of Britain from 1066 to present day. Okay, so next up I've got a packet of traditional English sweets, candy. It makes a nice crinkly packaging sound, does this bag. So we've got love hearts, we've got Parma violets, drumsticks, fizzers, refreshers. And last of all, I have this hat. Which I'm going to put on now. I think it suits me. Tingles, tingles, tingles.
Hi everybody, this is the Whisper Corner, and this is a Mont Blanc Meisterstück rollerball, and in my video for all things British related to Britain, I thought I would do a soft-spoken word search, and I have a list of words here that are all inside the grid: ASMR, BBC, Belfast, Big Ben, Cardiff, Coronation Street, EastEnders, Edinburgh, England, Ireland, Liverpool, London, NHS, Northern Ireland, Pound, Royalty, Scotland, Shakespeare, Thames, and Wales. Now, in case you're wondering, Coronation Street, Northern Ireland, and Big Ben are all one word, because otherwise it would have been big on its own, Ben on its own, and that wouldn't have made any sense, at least not to me. And so let's begin looking for these words. There's the word beer. That was an accident. Okay, so just to keep things tidy, I'm going to use a ruler. So down the left hand side here, I see Edinburgh, the capital city of Scotland. So let's just mark that off. And where is it? There it is. Okay then. Oh, hold your horses. And then beside that we have pound, which of course is the currency for the countries within Britain. Okie dokie. Karaoke. Right, let's see. BBC. Oh, hold on a second. There is England. So, isn't it? So we have England to there. Let's just mark those off. I haven't used this pen yet with a ruler. Let's see. Okay, so there's England. Where's England? There it is there. Okie doke. And there's Big Ben. Don't want to do it on the same side too often, otherwise it will smear. And then you'll shout at me and you'll say, Kevin, you're making a mess. And I'd say, yeah, you're probably right. Okay, let's see. doing word searches. Just look for patterns for the main obvious ones. Two O's, which is backwards. We have Liverpool. Now you may say, Kevin, why did you put Liverpool in? It's purely because I support them. So we put a bias there. So we have Liverpool. Okay. Right along the top there, we have, let's see, put a wee dot there. Right along the top there, we have Northern Ireland. That goes in there. And this Pajambi goes in there. There you go, Bob's your uncle. So, no, that's Coronation Street. Okay. Anything else? Actually, right below that, there's BBC going backwards. Okay, so there's BBC. The whole height of the whole puzzle, we have Coronation Street, which, if you're not from the UK, is a TV show. No, not sitcom, sorry. A drama, which has been going since the 60s, I think. Maybe the 50s. No, probably the 60s. I think they had a live episode a couple of years ago for 60 years. So that's Coronation Street. Let's mark that off. Okay, so far so good. There's London, just popped up there. Okay, so we have London, car that around, bring that around, and nice and steady. Okay. We have ASMR, EastEnders, Island, NHS, Royalty, Thames, Cardiff. Still plenty to go, actually. Oh, I've just seen one. And it's on the diagonal, so that's going to be awkward. We have Scotland. Let's see. So we have, let's join that to that. And then that to that. Okay, then let's see. We have Scotland. Where's Scotland? North of England. Oh, okay, so let's see. There's IFF. No, actually, there's FFI. So that's the end of Cardiff. Not literally. It still exists. Okay, so let's mark off Cardiff. Not good. Okay, just bring that around, and then we have Cardiff. Alright. Okay, so yeah, so there's EastEnders. Let's bring that around. This long running since the late 80s BBC TV show. right down the right hand side here, we have Shakespeare. Let's just bring that around there. Let's see, just keep that straight again. Okay, and okay, so that's Shakespeare. Here's another one off the list. Okay, so we have Belfast, Wales, Thames, Royal. Actually, there's Thames right there. It's just going backwards. Thames. So let's just mark that off. So that's Thames. So, oh, here we have Ireland, which sort of suits both Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which is part of an island. So we have Ireland. Okay, so we have, right, we're down to the last few. I normally do these in blue ink. It's black ink, so a bit harder to make out stuff. There's a W for wheels. Okay. Goes there. Goes there. Okay, so that's Wales. Alright, that's one done. Okay. And then coming down, that Belfast there. Belfast beside Shakespeare. Okay, so we have 3 left. Royalty, ASMR, and NHS. Actually, there's ASMR. There it is there. And let's just put that in there. ASMR. Okay, so we're down to 2. NHS, which is going to be a pain to find amongst all this letters. All this black ink and Wildy. There's Wildy. Royaldy. Y. Okay. Okay. And finally, NHS. Find it just on the right hand side here. There's NHS. So there you go. That's complete. Thanks for watching and cheery bye.
Hello, hello.
how are you doing? So, today I'm going to be doing my best northern accent for you as a part of this ASMR British collab that I am honoured to be a part of. I was born in Wales and I moved to the north of England with my family at the age of 2, I think, and we lived, and still they live, in a place called Lancashire. So that's where I'm from, if you're wondering. So yeah, I'm here to support Great Britain today, but I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm interested in ancient history, so that's what I want to share with you today. And I'm also supporting my Canadian roots. I actually live in Canada right now, so I don't live in the UK, and that's why my northern accent is a little bit off. It's not quite what it used to be. I have a mix of Southern English in there, I have a mix of Canadian in there, so I'm going to try my best northern accent for you today. And I'm going to be reading to you from Taliesin. I've shared this book before in an old video of mine, and the reason that I'm going to read it to you is because it is part of a 5-book series that is based in Britain, and it's the Pendragon cycle. So if you've never heard of Taliesin before, Taliesin is book 1. Merlin, which I'm sure you've heard of, as the magician archetype in history, is the 2nd book. The 3rd, I believe, is Arthur, Pendragon. The 4th, I believe, may be called Pendragon, and the 5th is the Grail, the Holy Grail quest. So that's just a little bit of background on that. The author is Stephen R. Lawhead, so I'm going to read to you one of my favourite passages of this book. It's a pretty big one, so I'm just going to read a small section to you in just a moment. But I thought I'd show you this map of ancient Britain first, because it's kind of interesting. So we have the wall here separating Scotland and further north of England, and then you have Londinium further down here, and I'm somewhere in the middle here. It's where I'm from. 10 rings there are, and 9 gold torques on the battle chiefs of old. 8 princely virtues and 7 sins for which a soul is sold. 6 is the sum of earth and sky, of all things meek and bold. 5 is the number of ships that sailed from Atlantis, lost and cold. 4 kings of the Westerlands were saved, 3 kingdoms now behold. 2 came together in love and fear, in Lioness stronghold. 1 world there is, 1 God, and 1 birth, the Druid stars foretold. So the chapter that I'm going to read to you, the small section of the chapter, is actually the 3rd part of this book, which is the name of the Merlin. So, just a little bit of info about this book. Taliesin, which I didn't know before reading it, is actually Merlin's father. Did you know that? Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but that's part of this series. That's the case. Taliesin was even more powerful than what Merlin is, but Taliesin was a bard druid, and Merlin is known more as the magician who helps Arthur get the sword from the lady in the lake. So I've studied druidry for the last little while, and so all of these archetypes are running all the way throughout these stories, are weaved throughout these stories of old, these fairy tales they could be called as well, these myths and legends. But I find that it's just absolutely fascinating to me because it is part of British history. And I know that a lot of people are intrigued by the Knights of the Round Table and their quest for the Holy Grail and want to know whether that was a real person, as we all do, but they represent archetypes more than anything. So Taliesin is on a journey, a quest right now, and he is to go into the fairy world, the in-between world, the invisible world, okay? So, let's see here. He saw a luminous sky like shining bronze and heard the familiar strains of the haunting ethereal music. He smelled the sweet, heady fragrance of land and saw the mountains in the distance. And though he had explored their slopes many times, it was not to the mountains that he turned now. Instead, he found himself gazing on a small stream winding through the trees to empty itself in a forest pool nearby. Taliesin followed the stream among the glimmering trees to the pool, pushed through the bracken-covered bank to the water's edge, and wondered if she would still be there, the lady he had seen so long ago. Kneeling down, he peered into the crystalline water, his breath catching in his throat. The lady was gone. The water still flowed. The green horsetail weed still waved among the smooth amber-coloured stones, but the woman was not there. He rose slowly and retraced his steps along the stream to the place where the pathways converged. Choosing the one he had followed before, Taliesin started off. As before, he had not gone very far when the strange, glimmering, glistening fog began curling around his legs. In a few moments the fog had risen and deepened so that he could no longer see the path before his feet. He pushed on a short distance and stopped. Reluctantly, Taliesin decided to turn back and discovered that the fog now surrounded him completely. All about him, the dense vapour curled and wreathed on unseen channels in the air. Taliesin knew the peril of stumbling through the other world blind and dropped to his knees. He crawled a few more paces on his hands and knees before settling down to wait for the fog to clear. He waited a long time, but the fog did not lift. Instead, the luminous sky, showing through the fog overhead like a roof burning with a dusky flame, began to dim, and the fog grew deeper and more dense. Taliesin had never before seen or been frightened in the other world, but he became frightened now. He waited, hugging his knees and rocking back and forth as the sky darkened and the other world slipped into one of its rare, interminable nights. To buoy his sinking spirit, Taliesin began to sing, quietly at first, but with increasing volume to keep the fear away by the cunning beauty of his verse. While he sat there, wrapped in his cloak, singing his most powerful songs, he heard footsteps on the invisible path behind him. He stopped singing. A soft radiance shone through the rolling fog, and he perceived the presence of another world being approaching. An ancient one. The being came to stand near him, but not near enough to see clearly. It was just a glowing blur through the fog. Taliesin waited, not presuming to address the entity, but allowing it to speak first if it would. "Well, Shining Brow, here you are once more," the Ancient One said after a moment. The voice seemed to come from a place high above his head. Taliesin instantly recognized that he was being addressed by the entity he had encountered on his very first visit to the other world as a boy, years before. "I am here," he said simply. "Why have you come this way when you know that it is forbidden?"
This is Welsh ASMR 82. How you doing? So, as part of today's collab, I've decided to do a very typical video for my channel on the theme of Britain. So, we're going to have a look at a map video, and there's going to be a lot of facts and history incorporated in the video as well. I hope you like it, but more importantly, I hope that you find it relaxing and even, cross my fingers, it can help you fall asleep with any luck. Okay, let's have a little look at the map then. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much. Bye. So, let's take a little look at Britain, and we'll start off with, crucially, the most important place in Britain, if I say so myself, which is where I'm from, and it's Wales, which is just next to England. And I'm going to give you some facts about Wales and show you around a little bit. You ready? So Wales has its own language called Welsh, and in Welsh, Wales is called Cymru, which is spelled Cymru. And it's part of the United Kingdom and the island of Great Britain, with a population of 3 million. 20% of the population speak Welsh. Most of those are under 18, meaning that in the future more and more people are going to be able to speak Welsh again. Look at all these lovely estuaries. Carmarthen Bay, Abertawe is what we call Swansea in Welsh. And this here is the place that no one can say, Llanelli, owing to the double L sound in Welsh. Llanelli. Cardiff is the capital, which is over here. And Cardiff. And apart from Swansea, other cities are Casnewydd. No, that's the Welsh word for Newport. And Wrexham in the north, which is up here somewhere. There you are. Wrexham. As you can see, it's very green and very hilly. Snowdonia is over in the national park here, and Snowdon, the word in Welsh for the mountain is Yr Wyddfa, is the highest peak in Wales, standing at 3,560 feet tall. The country is said to contain more castles per square mile, I believe is it, per square mile than any other country in the world. And to prove that, where I grew up in Swansea, there is a castle in the middle of the town centre, opposite McDonald's. I'm not even kidding. I'll show you. See if I can find it.
So, Castle Key Shopping Centre, Castle Gardens, okay. Castle Bay Street. So this is the castle here, and that's McDonald's. And the castle is just next door to Jungle Gyms. Welsh popular sports include rugby and football. And our national stadium's in Cardiff. It was called the Millennium Stadium, but now it's called the Principality Stadium. And it's massive. I've been a couple of times, it's really nice. Apparently it has the largest, I don't know when this was written, the thing I'm reading out, but the largest retractable roof of any sports centre in the world, but I think Japan has probably got a big one now. And the new stadia in Qatar for the next World Cup. Okay, so I could talk about Wales for hours, but I haven't got time for that. Let's take a look at Northern Ireland and do some nice facts about that part of the UK. So Giant's Causeway, the north, is a famous rocky area of the coast of County Antrim, made up of thousands of hexagonal blocks of rock formed by ancient volcanic eruptions. Probably coming to the wrong place. It's a bit slow today, isn't it? I found it once before in a previous video. Belfast is the capital. I've been. I highly recommend it. It's lovely. The population of Northern Ireland is about 1.8 million, with an average of 157 wet days a year. It does rain less in Belfast than it does in Scotland, but it is wetter than Dublin. The Titanic was built and launched from Belfast Harbour. At the time, it was the largest man-made moving object on Earth. Almost 46% of the total population of Northern Ireland are under 30 years old, and there are no snakes or toads on the entire island of Ireland. And at its closest point, Northern Ireland is only 13 miles across the sea from Scotland. And on a nice day, you can apparently see some houses if you are in County Antrim. Talking about Scotland, the capital of Scotland is Edinburgh, but the largest city is actually Glasgow. Just across there. Edinburgh is here, with its very famous castles. The highest mountain in Scotland is Ben Nevis, which stands at a height of 4,409 feet. I think I'm right in saying that that makes it the highest peak in the UK. Pretty sure. Most major cities are located in the Scottish lowlands. And a variety of wildlife can be found in Scotland, including seals, stoats, and even the golden eagle. Scotland has over 300 railway stations. Scotland has, it says on this website, a unique history with traditions such as bagpipes, kilts, and Highland dancing. The thistle is a national symbol of Scotland. Look at that lovely coastline. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, we've done the 3 Celtic nations. Let's have a look at England there, shall we? I think you, of course, realise that London is the capital of England and the UK. England was the first industrialised nation after the Industrial Revolution, and that began around 1760. The longest river in England is the Thames, this one here. It flows through London. The longest river found entirely in England is the River Thames, but the longest river is the Severn, but it also goes through Wales as well. The highest mountain peak in England is Scafell Pike, which stands, I believe it's up here. I'm guessing it's in the Lake District. Pennine. It stands at 3,209 feet. The World Wide Web was made by an Englishman, Tim Berners-Lee, and there have been a number of influential English authors, but perhaps the most influential is William Shakespeare. You might have heard of him, who wrote classics such as Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, and Hamlet. See if I can find Wembley Forest. Yeah, probably not. I can. It's a very impressive Wembley Stadium, where the football matches are played. And the Summer Olympic Games have been held in London 3 times, in 1908, 1948, and most recently in 2012. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you're not from Britain, come visit. It's very lovely. Okay, thanks. Bye 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 bye.
It appears you're wounded. Sit, come sit. Sit down. Sit down. And allow me to tend to your wounds. Just gently. Just gently. Okay. Let me bathe. You know you ought to take a little more care. The people rely on you to lead them. They would be quite lost without you. There you go, off playing hero. Come back to me to take care of you. Well, not I. I can take care of myself. While I have you seated here, let me prepare some herbs to heal your wound. They have healing properties. Should aid your recovery. Prepare this mixture. Special ingredient. So you know you must rest. This won't hurt. Yes, it's for the best. Let me prepare this for you. Stay still. And now tell me of your preparations. How are the men? I hope you don't leave them with such hasty actions as you should take yourself. There's lots to be done here. If Robin Hood is to protect our lands, they say that you, Robin, will lead us as we wait for the king to return, to protect us from the sheriff and his men, their violent
Hi everyone, welcome to my very British high tea facial. Where I will be doing a facial with all of these products, and all of these products are in fact from British companies. I am going to be making my own face mask with English tea leaves. So for this facial you will need 1 black tea bag or a tablespoon of tea leaves, a tablespoon of lemon juice, 4 tablespoons of honey, and a dash of water if required. Welcome. So, to start my very British facial, I'm going to do a cleanse with something a little different. I'm going to be using a cleansing soap bar. So it is lathering up really nicely. And I'm just going to gently work that into Becca's face. And down her neck as well. So now that is nicely buffed into the skin, I'm going to wash it off with a damp cloth. So I'm now going to go on to my second cleanse, which is the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. And I'll just gently massage that into Becca's skin. I personally use this myself every day, and I have found that it has really helped with clearing my skin. This is one of my go-to cleansers at the moment. So now we have done the double cleanse, I'm going to move on to using my homemade face mask. So this face mask has English tea leaves or black tea leaves. It has honey and it has lemon and a little bit of water. It's also really good for exfoliating the skin, as you obviously have the tea leaves within it and they are quite grainy, so at the end you can gently massage it into the skin. So I'm now going to wash off the face mask. So I will just remove the remainder of the mask with a soft face cloth. So I'm now going to spritz Becca's face with a toner, and we have the Skin and Tonic Rose Toner, and this is a British company as well. They are based in London. Almost just to fall onto the skin. This stuff smells really nice. And the moisturiser I have chosen to use on Becca tonight is from Nip and Fab, and it is a nighttime moisturiser which has a low level retinol within it. So I'll just work that into Becca's face and down her neck as well. And I will just do a gentle facial massage just to really work it into her skin. Becca's skin feels lovely and soft, so thank you so much, and I will see you again soon. Bye.
Hey guys, my name is Atlas, and today we are reading fairy tales in a very soft voice. The fairy tale in particular we are reading today is an English fairy tale that I'm sure we all know one version of or another. The Three Little Pigs, or rather the story of the Three Little Pigs. And I'm sure, because this is a slightly earlier version, that there will be some inconsistencies with the modern, I'm sure, homogenized version that goes around these days. So let's have a read. I'm sure it'll be completely bizarre. So, the story of the Three Little Pigs by, well, I'm not sure if it's actually by, but at least compiled by Joseph Jacobs. Once upon a time, when pigs spoke rhyme, and monkeys chewed tobacco, and hens took snuff to make them tough. What snuff? Are these hens just doing lines of drugs? in order that they seem sort of cool to their other hen mates? Kids, don't do snuff. Bad hens. And ducks went quack, 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 oh. Why do they do that? Quack, 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 oh. Bizarre ducks. Okay. There was an old sow with 3 little pigs, and as she had not enough to keep them, she sent them out to seek their fortunes. The first that went off met a man with a bundle of straw and said to him, "Please, man, give me that straw to build a house." Which the man did, and the little pig built a house with it. Is that what the old sow said to do? I thought she said to seek their fortunes. I guess fortunes probably mean not just money, but seek their new life. Okay, cool. He's built a house. Very good. Presently, along came a wolf and knocked at the door and said, little pig, let me come in." To which the pig answered, "No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin." That's slightly different from the phrase we know, but hey-ho, rolling with it. And then the wolf answered to that, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." Feel free to say the words along at home. So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew his house in, and ate up the little pig. These days, do the pigs die? I thought they sort of ran along to the next house. Okay, one pig's been killed so far. We're one pig down. The second little pig met a man with a bundle of furs and said, "Please, man, give me that furs to build a house." There's furs sticks, let's say, yes. Which the man did, and the pig built his house. And then along came the wolf and said, little pig, let me come in." "No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and at last he blew the house down, and he ate up the little pig. The third little pig met a man with a load of bricks and said, "Please, man, give me those bricks to build a house with." So the man gave him the bricks, and he built his house with them. So the wolf came, and as he did to the other little pigs, he said, little pig, let me come in." "No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." Well, he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed, but he could not get the house down. When he found that he could not, with all of his huffing and puffing, blow the house down, he said, "Little pig, I know where there is a nice field of turnips." "Where?" said the little pig. "Oh, in Mr. Smith's home field. And if you will be ready tomorrow morning, I will call for you, and we will go together and get some for dinner." What a nice offer. "Very well," said the little pig. "I will be ready. What time do you mean to go?" "Oh, at around 6 o'clock. Well, the little pig got up at 5 and got the turnips before the wolf came, which he did at about 6. And who said, "Little pig, are you ready?" And the little pig said, "Ready. I have been and come back again and got a nice pot full for dinner." The wolf felt very angry at this, understandably, but thought that he would be up to the little pig somehow or another, so said, "Little pig, I know where there is a nice apple tree." "Where?" said the pig. "Down in Merry Garden," replied the wolf. "And, if you will not deceive me, I will come for you at 5 o'clock tomorrow and get some apples." Well, the little pig bustled up the next morning at 4 o'clock and went off for the apples, hoping to get back before the wolf came. But he had further to go and had to climb a tree, so that just as he was coming down from it, he saw the wolf coming, which, as you may suppose, frightened him very much. When the wolf came up, he said, "Little pig, what? Are you here before me? Are they nice apples?" "Yes, very," said the little pig. "I will throw you down one." And he threw it so far that, while the wolf was gone to pick it up, the little pig jumped down and ran home. That must have been quite a far throw for a pig, but there you go. The next day, the wolf came again and said to the little pig, "Little pig, there is a fair at Shanklin this afternoon. Will you go?" "Oh, yes," said the pig. "I will go. What time will you be ready?" "At 3, said the wolf. So the little pig went off before the time as usual and got to the fair and bought a butter churn, which he was going home with, when he saw the wolf coming. Then he could not tell what to do, so he got into the churn to hide, and by doing so turned it around, and it rolled down the hill with the pig in it, which frightened the wolf so much that he ran home without going to the fair. He went to the little pig's house and told him how frightened he had been by a great round thing which came down the hill past him. Then the little pig said, "Ah, I frightened you then. I had been to the fair and bought a butter churn, and when I saw you, I got into it and rolled down the hill. Like a badass." Then the wolf was very angry indeed, and declared he would eat up the little pig, and that he would get down the chimney after him. When the little pig saw what he was about, he hung on the pot full of water and made up a blazing fire, and just as the wolf was coming down, took off the cover, and in fell the wolf. So the little pig put on the cover again in an instant, boiled him up, and ate him for supper, and lived happily ever after. Let's try that again. And lived happy ever afterwards. The end. It must have been a very tall house if the wolf took that long to get up it, that the pig had time to boil the water. Anyway, that was great. I don't really know the consequence of the butter churn thing, really. That pig could have been happily cut. But hey, I'm glad the third pig's alive. Not so happy that, of course, 2 other pigs had to die. But hey, there you go. Who knew that after the brick house, little pig, there was a whole fair component to that story? I am the wiser. Okay, thank you so much for joining me with that story. And if you liked that, I read many, many more stories on my channel, some incredibly dark and hilarious. So, yeah, hope you have a great day. Cheers.
Hello there, my lovelies. For tonight's special video, I will be doing some reading for you. So, I have a list in front of me of words of nature and things that remind me of the great British outdoors, as I love nature and I like to be outdoors in all seasons. So sit back and relax, let your troubles melt away as I read these beautiful natural words. Forest, tree, leaf, branches, moss, roots, grass, earth, soil, butterfly, bird song, berries, snowdrop, bluebell, poppy, sunflower, roses, lily, shade, summer, sunshine, seaside, sand, shells, waves, pebbles, squirrels, blue tits, robins, rabbits, deer, sheep, horses, cows, dogs, cats, ducks, swans, raindrops, water, rivers, waterfalls, wind, droplet, clouds, mist, fog, ice, hail, snow, icicles, snowman, moonlight, midnight, starlight, breeze, fire, warmth, cinnamon, forest, tree, leaf, branches, bark, Snowdrop, Bluebell, Poppy, Sunflower, Roses, Lily, Shade, Summer, Sunshine, Seaside, Sand, Shells, Waves, Pebbles, Squirrels, Blue Tits, Robins, Rabbits, Deer, Sheep, Horses, Cows, Dogs, Cats, Ducks, Swans, Raindrops, Water, Rivers, Waterfalls, Wind, Droplet, Clouds, Mist, Fog, Ice, Hail, Snow, Icicles, Snowman, Moonlight, Midnight, Starlight, Breeze, Fire, Warmth, Cinnamon, good night, my lovelies. Sleep tight, and I will see you very, very soon.